what is up? Welcome back to another video, and today, here we go. I don't know why I haven't done this video. It's honestly a really good and interesting idea for a video, yet I don't know why I scrapped the video. I guess I worked on it for so long and I messed up something, but yeah. Welcome to how main power-up works. So, before we get into it, I think it's important for me to explain what main power-up is. Okay, main power-up is an ability that officially, or non but it boosts your weapon. Depending on the weapon is what it does. As you can see here, my Splatoon Junior just increases in coverage. But for certain other weapons, I believe the Neo Splooshes and yeah, it increases damage. Many people just see it as damage, no matter what weapon they choose. Today I actually saw someone using the Octo Shot, thinking they were gonna obliterate anything. Yet that was not the case. Alright? Main power-up is an especially difficult ability to use. Probably because, well, it's sometimes so unpredictable. All of these weapons here have a different use for main power-up. Honestly, there's just a lot of weapons, and you guys might think it's kind of crazy, but I went through all of them. I'm gonna go through all of them again, just to double check. And, well, yeah. It's honestly pretty interesting what main power-up can do. Main power-up itself is a special ability. It was an interesting ability. It was an unexpected ability. Anyways, right now, I believe I should probably get into what main power-up does. Like, that was just a brief overview. I'm gonna get into what main power-up does. And it's regular explanation. I'm not gonna get what the weapons do. That's gonna be right now, but yeah. Let's get into it. Main power-up, what is it? It's an ability that boosts the efficiency of your weapon. It can be in primary and secondary gear slots. And as I said previously, each weapon can have a different outcome and effect with it. I've gone through everything, all the differences, and every single weapon. I've written down on a piece of paper. I literally just bought the 10 umbrella only for this. I would never buy it on the other hand. I also bought the Kentaluna Blaster. That's why you've seen it a lot on my streams. I said, should I do this? Nah. But, alright. And I'm gonna say this Kentaluna Blaster. I now have a new hate for it, and you'll see why in a minute. Anyways, main power-up was added in the update for 4.3.0. It is a very interesting and special update. It was a very unexpected update, and it's generally confused with Splatoon 1's special strength up. As for certain weapons, it can do damage, yet that again is not the case. It can also boost RNG, which or random number generation, basic, and yeah, I don't know why I'm struggling to say a couple of words, but it can boost that. For anyone who doesn't know what RNG is, it's basically random number generation. RNG is what says, alright, you're gonna hit this opponent. As you can see, some of my shots didn't hit, remember? Unless I'm super close. Despite the fact that I was firing at it, the random number generation said no, you're only gonna hit this or that shot. Sometimes you can get lucky and hit all your shots directly, but as you can see there, it's a very strange case. That's RNG for you, and it can just boost it while jumping. Again, I am gonna be referring to that as RNG, as that is a number. It usually just says increases your accuracy when jumping, like that, because your accuracy does decrease. Alright, but I'm gonna be referring to it as RNG, just to make it easier on me for writing my notes and everything. Anyways, with all that out the way, let's get into it. Again, main power-up is a very interesting weapon, and I'm interested to see how it performs. Let's do it. I will be taking it out with a few select weapons that are my personal favorites. Anyways, let's get into it. So, to start this off, as you can see, we've got splatter shots, and the rest, well, there's the splatter shots, splooshes, and aerosprays, along with a couple of omatics. Well, basically all the omatics and everything. Alright, so let's get into it. Oh, well, let me just find it in my notes. Actually, hold on. I think I might need to do a bit more research or just categorizing. That would probably help. Why can't I? A couple of minutes of organization later, and here we go. And down everything, including my pencils. I had to rewrite a bunch of my notes. Honestly, yeah, this is a lot of notes written down. I'll put them up on screen if you guys would want. All right, so the notes should be put up on screen at the moment. Honestly, wait, this took a long time. Anyways, let's get into it. All right. So, starting off with everything, the Splattershot and Splattershot Juniors both. Well, hold on, I'm using. Redo the clip. Redo the clip. No, I don't care about the desktop. It's Windows. Shut up, everything. The Splattershot in Custom Splattershot Junior, along with their variant. In After getting my notes horribly wrong, we can start now. Alright. Oh boy, where are the Splattershot? Do I need to click the Junior now? Where's the Junior? Just refresh that. There we go. The Splattershot Juniors, well, they get an ink coverage boost. So anything that they cover, won't be, well, alright, anything that they cover will be increased. Of course, I have little MPU, that's why it doesn't work as much, but yeah. This whole thing, it's covering more than the regular Splattershot. Alright, so this is actually really perfect for when you're self-strafing, and you just want to cover a large area in a short amount of time, especially if you're gonna sub-strafe. Oh boy, this is helping a lot. I'm actually noticing a difference because I play Splattershot a lot, or Splattershot Junior a lot, and well, I'm actually noticing a difference. So let's go double splat. Alright, well, I doubt that'll ever happen again, so let's continue. Alright. So, the Splattershot. It increases the RNG. Essentially, what it does is when you're jumping and shooting, it increases your chances of actually hitting your target. As you see here, I'm not shooting, and look at that. Almost no shots hit. Or actually, some shots hit. But now with my MPU, I can make sure that they do hit. As you can see, some shots eventually tend to miss, and that is because of RNG. Many weapons miss out on this, and that actually sometimes ruins your chances of burst canceling. So if you do want to go for the burst canceling strat, I recommend you equip some MPU. Alright, so let's get into it. Or let's just go into the O-matic. All O-matics, let it be sploosh or splash, all of them have one thing. It increases their damage. Basically, again, another weapon that will do great and benefit with burst canceling is this one. As you can tell, I'm just sweeping through these guys, and that's generally a good thing. Sadly, it doesn't increase your ink coverage, so you won't be able to burst cancel. Well, you won't be able to substrafe as well, but that isn't really a problem. As you can see, I don't really need to burst cancel as much with the main power up because it can already do so damage. With enough main power up, you can destroy anything that comes your way. Especially with burst canceling. Burst canceling is a really good idea to be using it on the battlefield. And the best part about this is that you won't require to use a bomb after you're done. Well, if you're out of ink or the opponent's just far away, you won't require to use a bomb because you will do enough damage to not require to use a burst bomb. Again, for weapons such as the regular O-matic or Splash-O-matic, you won't actually have a bomb to use. So it is recommended to wear to wear your MPU gear if you're gonna use and wield the regular O-matic. Anyways, on to the next category. Now for the worst weapon in the game. I don't even want to select it. Look, I'm not able to select it. I am not able to. No matter what I do, I cannot test it. I am not ever gonna be able to select it. God, that weapon is so bad. All it does, just for this one video, Oh, this weapon sucks. This weapon sucks. Alright. Just look at that. Its RNG is so bad. God. I don't think it's actually good for it's being able to substrafe well. And not even, because even my Splattershot Jr. can do better. It hits in 5 shots, and honestly, it's just so bad. Anyways, this isn't a weapon review. This is just showing you what MPU does. So, oh, come on. I can't even showcase it now. Just have the Roombas. Alright. Anyways, what this weapon does is increase ink coverage. So, let's say in a turf or the aerospace realm, you would be able to get more and more ink coverage done, meaning you'll be able to win. That is why one of the reasons why the aerospray is only good at turf war and spot zones. Because, well, it's only able to turf. It has low killing potential and... Alright, I'm just hitting on the aerospray right now. I mean, it isn't a bad weapon. It's an aerospray. Alright, anyways. Yeah, it increases ink coverage. So you're going to be able to ink a lot more in less time. I guess that's the only good part about the aerospray. The rest is just kind of bad. Anyways, moving on. I don't know why I'm wielding this weapon, but the only good part about it is the fact that it can ink. Sadly, what I would love to see an MPU effect giving it either more damage, or basically making it so that its RNG is better. Because if you didn't notice, this weapon actually sucks from RNG. Look at that. I'm shooting directly at it, and well, it just suffers from RNG. I guess that's what makes it a bad weapon. The fact that for some players they can have bad RNG. I would love to see that in change for like 5.2 or something. I don't even. What version are we on? 5.2. I would love to see that for 5.3 then. Just making that change to main power. That would be such a small change that Nintendo can actually pull off. But it would be such a necessary change for many aerospray players. They can now equip the main power up. And well, just have actually a better chance on the battlefield. Because right now I feel like the aerospray is kind of bad. Again, that is what I would like to wish. And it does fit within the category of this video. Because, you know, I'm talking about main power up. Again, that is the only thing that the aerospray does. Alright. Enough hating on the worst weapon in the game. Yeah, let's move on to an actual worthwhile weapon. The gals. Alright. The gals, at least at 52 gals, it just increases RNG. Nothing, well, it is special, but it's nothing that special. Honestly, the RNG, it's a weapon that suffers from RNG. It's not as much as the other weapons, such as Splattershot Jr. and, well, Aerospray. As you can see here, yep, it is kind of suffering from RNG when you really look at it. But when I'm jumping and shooting, I guess it's doing better. I don't really necessarily wield this weapon. Anyways, yep, that is what main power up on the Gal does. Now let's move on to its well, before we move on to its second variant, we do have to talk about a weapon I really love. The NTAP. And not just because I have the actual NTAP from 1988. From 1985. Not just because I have the real one. The orange color. But and I don't get it why it's orange and it says 85, yet on the literal NTAP it says 85, but on the one that's actually color coded it says 89. Anyways, well, it just increases in coverage, like the bad weapon and the Splattershot Jr. No, it just increases in coverage. Now this is a weapon that doesn't suffer from RNG. It was generally a good weapon actually. The original weapons kit, the regular the regular NSAP, it was actually one of the best competitive weapons until they made the big ink tank change and update for the Splattershot Jr. Then the community started preferring the Junior more than the NSAP, but honestly, the NSAP, if it still had its competitive uses, main power up with this thing would have been amazing, especially for splat zones. Anyways, yeah, all it does is it increases ink coverage, as you can see. Its RNG is actually really good. And, well, yeah, just increases ink coverage. That's literally all main power up does. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, the variant of the gals. 96 gal. Okay, alright. Let's see. 96 gal. And this is going in order of my notes. But the 96 gal, it's an interesting case. Unlike its previous one, it doesn't, well, alright. It doesn't increase RNG. Its RNG is always gonna suffer. On the other hand, this thing does more damage, which is frightening. Alright? It's frightening the fact that it does more damage. Because now you're gonna have a one-hit KO weapon that's this powerful. Just imagine that. Especially if you can find some sort of cheese with this. The sprinkler. Oh boy, you're gonna be able to one-hit KO anything. Sadly, this thing is a weapon. Or that sub special. That sub is a weapon or a sub that actually suffers from RNG more than even the worst weapon in the game. Alright? It's a weapon that definitely does suffer from RNG. And I don't get why. Well, I actually get why. It's a sprinkler. Anyways, with this, you're going to be able to literally one-hit KO anything. I recommend putting it on this thing. Yay! Alright, on to the next weapon. I'm still hating on the airspray because it's bad. Alright. A weapon class that I personally like. The Pro. Alright? The Pro is very good. And with this, it just makes it better. Increases damage. Look at this. You can see, with 2 hits, I almost covered the entire balloon. I cannot get a 3-hit KO, or I cannot get a 2-hit KO just yet, but with enough main power up, you might actually be able to do that. Honestly, that's just impressive. Because when you think about it, being able to one-shot something with a Splatter Shot Pro, now that is called playing with power. Alright. I did find out this cool trick the other day. You can still get hit while using it, but it's still pretty fun to do. Alright, anyways, with that one-hit KO main power-up, let's get into the next weapon. The Jet Sculpture. Alright, the Jet Sculpture is an interesting case. It isn't really necessarily the best weapon in the game. It isn't necessarily the worst. It's a substitute for, well, the Charger. And even at times, I don't think the Exploser, but maybe the Splatling, as this thing is also rapid fire. And yeah, this thing just makes it more OP. Such as the E-Leader and Squiffer. Main power up gives it more and more range. It's actually a pretty interesting weapon because it gives it more range, meaning that a weapon with a lot of main power up in this weapon, you're gonna be getting a shooting stingray, essentially. You're gonna be able to shoot. You're gonna be able to have a stingray without having to use a special with enough range. Look at that. I can do that normally with a stingray, but I now can do it normally with this weapon. Look at that. I'm just increasing my range. I literally just gotta stand here and shoot. It's like the dualies, but better. This weapon overall is just a better weapon. Alright. So, with this weapon being a better weapon than the dualies when they're standing still, what could come next? Oh, I know. The Luna Blaster, the bane of my existence when making this video. Right? Look, all the other blasters, they all share the same thing. They all boost RNG, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. Unlike the Luna Blaster. On the other hand, the Luna Blaster increases the range of the radius of explosion. What does that mean? Is this very confusing? That's why I'm making this. You see the little range of explosion around the fireworks, like right here? It looks like fireworks, right? The extra poofs, if you're not going for a direct hit, it'll increase the damage that you do for a non-direct hit. That's basically what the Kenseth does. Or just the Luna Blaster does. Why couldn't you be like the rest of the guys? Alright, anyways, yeah. If you're hit with a non-direct hit with this thing, you're going to be taking more and more damage. So, it's best, if you can't really aim for direct shots, it's best to equip some main power up with this weapon. So you don't have to be hitting those direct shots. And instead can just shoot from anywhere and do enough damage. Again, you're not going to be getting a range boost. You're going to be getting, well, a damage boost for the radius, the range. A non-direct hit will do more damage. Anyways, let's get on to the next one. The Blaster, Range Blaster, Clash, and Rapid Blaster. Alright? Okay, every single other blaster essential. I'm gonna pick up my Range Blaster. Range Blaster, I like it. Anyways, it just increases RNG. Alright? So, jumping and shooting, RNG. Meaning, when you're jumping and shooting, you're gonna be able to hit more shots off. You see that? That is the problem with RNG. Okay, so using this, you're gonna be able to hit more opponents like that. And I just noticed it curves. So yeah, you're gonna be able to hit more opponents while shooting and jumping. And this doesn't specifically work just for the blaster. It also works for any blaster. Look, I'm hitting more of my shots now. And let's try that with the Clash Blast. One of the worst weapons for being a blaster and one of the best weapons for being a meme weapon. As you can see that, it looks like I'm just hitting him directly on, but I'm not. I'm just jumping and shooting. That is what main power-up does for literally every single other blaster. Sorry, it's got my special. I have to use it. You know when you get that special and you really just have to use it? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Anyways, let's move on to every other weapon category. And there are a lot of more weapon categories to go through. Let's just use the nozzle noses. And I did combine them with the squeezer because they are pretty similar. So let's just test out both of them. Because I did combine them. Well, what they do is damage. Yeah, they're going to be doing more damage per shot. And with enough damage combos, you are going to be able to hit a one-shot. Actually, there is a cheese. Well, not a cheese, but a burst cancel cheese I found. So you can do even more damage with burst canceling. Throw burst bomb, then burst cancel. Look at that, 123.2. That is powerful. Again, this weapon just is gonna get a damage boost as well as the squeezer. So you won't be getting better RNG. You'll just be getting more damage. Meaning you're not gonna have to spend that much shots shooting. And well, let's just test out this, the squeezer. I don't have the foil squeezer, but I do have this. There is a cheese. I don't remember who found it. I believe it was Jmoji, but you are able to just spam the bottle cap or popping the bottle cap. This is essentially a wine bottle. So you basically just bought a wine bottle from the wine store and made it into a weapon. Alright. This weapon is just going to do more damage. The weapon itself goes from long range to short range. It's basically just, well, it's literally just a bottle cap. You know how wine bottles go like all over the place? Well, that's basically what you're doing with this. Yeah, alright, into the next category. Because they both do exactly the same thing. Alright, here's the category I'm really excited about because I don't have to do more of it. It's literally the only one I have to do. And that is, all rollers do more damage. So with main power up, you would be doing more damage than normal. You wouldn't be covering more. It doesn't increase in coverage, thankfully. I did do these original notes at like 3 a.m. so I'm not sure about some things, like with the splatter shot stuff. We don't need to talk about that. Alright. Anyways, yep. What you're doing is basically doing more damage, I believe, per roll and well, just per swing, meaning that you're gonna be doing way much more damage, even if you're kind of close or long range. I wouldn't be able to do that with the regular, well, with no main power up, and now I am because main power up. You seeing that? Main power up helps. I would like to see a roll, just a splat roll with burst bombs, however. At least let's move on to the brushes. All up in category I myself personally don't like. With main power up, and I'm gonna click the octo brush just to show you guys this. The speed when inking is gonna be faster. Do you guys remember doing the rickroll with the regular roller? Well, if you do the exact same thing with a brush and main power up, you're gonna be going faster than normal. And this actually helps weapons like the octo brush out that have a lot of range be basically the best brush out there in the game, because you're gonna be going as fast as an ink brush and gonna be hitting I believe as long range as an arrow spray, maybe less. But it's really good for sneak attacks and just running around, picking up clams. And this main power up is gonna help you. I'm giving a tip or two around here instead of just saying, yeah, this does this, this does this, just to help you guys a little bit. Anyways, let's move on to the Splat Chargers. Actually, let's do Squiffer first because it's a Squiffer. I like Squiffers a lot. Alright, so it's Squiffer. Does more range. So basically, I get a bit more range with main power up. It doesn't do more damage, it does more range. I still can't hit it. Now we can. Look at that. You basically get a range boost. I believe with 3 stacks of main power up, you might actually be able to rival a Splatter Scope or even a Gootuber. Or perhaps even an E-Leader with enough main power up. Again, a little bit of main power up can give you a Stingray as your main weapon. Just remember, the Stingray can't go through walls. Also, have you ever noticed the little animation that goes like whoop, and this just goes in all directions like that? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when actually any weapon does that. But look at that animation. Look at that. It makes you appreciate some things, doesn't it? How much the game was coded, how much effort went into it. Anyways, yeah, the Squiffer gives it more range. The regular Splat Charger and Splatter Shot, however, they're a different case. They, well, do more damage. Meaning your tap shots are going to be able to do more damage. And since I myself don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot of main power up, I'm not seeing much of a difference. Again, I'm not a Splat Charger main, so I wouldn't see one anyways. But yeah, you essentially get more damage per shot. Let it be tap shot or regular shot, you will get more damage. So essentially, you can splat someone at non-full charge. Look at that. I'm really bad with charger though. So yeah, you can basically get more range. Same thing goes for splatter scope. So you're essentially gonna be getting a weapon that can really just scout out. You're gonna be getting a splat charger and splatter scope at the same time. It's generally useful, so you don't really have to aim much. You will have to perform like a Squiffer main, but honestly, is that really that bad? Come on, Charger main, is that really that bad? The only downside about using the scope is that you can't charge. It would be cool if you just got an animation like you're peeking into the scope after you just do the charge shot like that. Anyways, let's just move on to the E-Leader. The E-Leader is a specifically long-range weapon. It's supposed to have the longest range in the game. And for those of you complaining, oh, I can't hit him over there despite I have the longest range in the game, say no more. Main power-up is your friend. Main power-up will ensure that you hit them, even if they're very far away. Essentially, you get a Stingray that can't go through walls. Look at that. I would appreciate if it did more damage. Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers. Alright, if you want an upgrade for the E-Leader, you're gonna have to stick for what you get, and you get a pretty cool update. You essentially get a Stingray that can't shoot through walls. That's your main weapon. Now you might be thinking that's kind of bad, but a lot of the long-range weapons with non-offensive kits. Oh, that was a nice double splat. With non-offensive kits, they do come with the Stingray, don't they? So if you're basically if you're using this, you're gonna get 2 specials instead of 1. One would be the bubble blower, and the other one would be, hey, look, 2 bubbles. The other one would be a Stingray. You basically get a Stingray and bubble blower at the same time. Now, if that isn't fresh, then I don't know what is. Alright, now let's move on to a weapon that isn't that broken. Well, I regret my words right now. the Bamboozler, or Bamboozler. The Bamboozler is a short-range charger. It's very quick, yet it's one of the more and most known weapons. I'm actually seeing something because regular Bamboozler does 85 damage. I only have two of main power up, one main and one sub main power up, and I'm already doing 91 damage. That's about 6 more damage with a Bamboozler. If it had burst bombs, then I'd be able to burst cancel perfectly. Yet this weapon requires so much. I mean, anyways, yeah, it just gives it more damage. I believe you can do tap shots with this weapon, and again, even that does more damage. So essentially, tap shots are gonna be powerful. You can finish your opponent off without having 2 full charges. You can do that. Just do that. Boom! Look at that. Or heck, you can even go in for 187 damage or 184. I don't know. I didn't look at the number well. Anyways, yeah, you're gonna be able to go for tap shots. Now the Bamboozler is more equipped to fight, and well, with enough main power up, you're basically gonna be getting a splatter scope without a scope that can charge really fast and has the range of a squiffer. Again, not the best thing, yet it's still better than nothing, isn't it? Anyways, yep. Let's just move on to the GooTuber. The GooTuber is a specific weapon, or a special weapon for this list because it makes me go to the back page. And yet, you know what that means? We're almost done. This video's so far taking 20 minutes. God, it's gonna take a while. Anyways. Sorry, did I mean by Bamboozler? I meant YouTuber. Oh, wait, hold on. I meant GooTuber. I guess you could say, while making this video, I'm a GooTuber. Alright. Bad puns aside, you know you're gonna be getting a lot more. You're gonna be not only puns, but damage when using this weapon and main power up. I am gonna be making a bunch of puns when I'm done or during the Splatfest because honestly, this is such an excellent Splatfest topic. It'll be a crime not to do so. Anyways, yep, look at that. We are doing so much damage right now. This basically increases your damage. And unlike my puns, this weapon isn't really that bad. And its main power-up use isn't either. This weapon basically makes it so you do more damage per shot, allowing tap shots to be an option. Look at that. Look at that. You're just doing more and more damage as you go along. It's pretty fresh, not gonna lie. My current main power just puts me up like by 6 points. Anyways, yeah, that's all it does. It gives it more damage. A lot of these weapons give more damage, and that's why main power up is generally confused with the good old. I forgot the name of it. What was it? I forgot the name. Strength up. There we go. The slosher increases damage range. You know what? All of these are somewhat decent at. Well, not decent, but somewhat legible, unlike the Kensa Luna Blaster and the Slosher are no exception to being weird. And so I'm trying to pull off this trick, where you can swing it to hit more and more opponents, as I did in the B-roll during my other video. What you can do is basically increase the radius, or you see this will do more damage. So you're basically throwing farther shots that do more damage. This is perfect for bucket mains. So now you can hit more damage per shot. And especially the radius. Look at that. I don't exactly know how to showcase. I don't know how to properly showcase this. All I know is that it's cool. Alright. I myself, I'm not a bucket main, so I don't know how to showcase it. Anyways, let's just see this. It's a very cool update for it. It still does its max 70 damage, yet from the beginning like this, from this part up all the way up to here, I believe, it's gonna do way much more damage. So yeah, anyways, let's get on to literally every single other bucket. Alright, I'm getting a little mad because some things that I could have easily avoided by just putting all buckets That is not the case. I can't do that anymore. All right. So try Slosher, Sloshing Machine, Bob Lobber, and Custom Explosher. Essentially all other buckets. Uh, they have the ink coverage thing. You remember the thing we did at the beginning of the episode? God, I'm thinking too much of Survival's Friends. Uh, you remember what we did at the beginning of the video, talking about ink coverage and how you're gonna cover much more ink? Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing now. We're gonna be covering more ink with these weapons, which is really good because some of these weapons aren't necessarily turfing weapons. And considering the fact that we're gonna be able to get more use out of these, it's better. And you are gonna be able to cover more turf with your tri-slosher, so that's generally pretty good. And the Bob Lobber. Bob Lobber isn't exactly a turfing weapon, yet it's a really the blob. Hold on, how do you pronounce his name? Blob Lobber, Bob Lob, Blob. The the bathtub. The bathtub is gonna be able to cover more ink with its bubbles. Look at that! Look at that! It's like, see that? All right, well there we go. It's gonna be able to cover more. So does the Exploser, which again, isn't exactly a great turfing weapon. It's more of a backliner weapon, and well, yeah, it's gonna be able to cover more ink. So you're not gonna have to be worrying about ink and stuff. So if you're all the way up here covering backline, someone's targeting you, you can just run away. Just be able to run away over here, and when someone's targeting you here, just run away over here and everything. You're gonna be able to not worry about covering ink. Alright. Again, substrafing doesn't really necessarily work on the custom exploser because point sensor distracts you. Anyways, yeah, this weapon is gonna cover more ink. Anyways, yeah, you can see everyone's coming online today. Splat links. The splat links are pretty fun to use, and with this, it's no exception. The splat links MPU boost says that you're gonna increase the duration of fire rate in a burst. Basically, you're gonna be shooting more when at full or non-full charge. So I'm gonna be able to do that, and look at that, shoot more. It's really handy, especially if you're a Splatling main or becoming a Splatling main like me. And it's really handy for doing things. So it's just so good. Because now you're going to be able to shoot at more targets for a longer time. Anyways, let's just continue on with the rest of the things. Let's look at that. We're almost done. All we need is Barella. All we need is Barella. If you're this far into the video, thank you. I am going to be providing links in the description of where each weapon is and ways to do these. Do more damage. One of my favorite weapon classes. It does more damage. Alright? So you're going to be able to do more damage per shot, allowing you to efficiently burst cancel, which is really good, especially in a competitive side. But I know I've been talking about competitive a lot, so if you don't want to get into that, just put some main power up. Alright? Just equip some main power up for your turfing weapons. And, well, you're basically going to be able just to ignore competitive strats altogether because you're going to have enough main power up to ignore them. Again, some competitive strats cannot be ignored, or if you're going to be looking for damage, you might not want to ignore some of these, but hey, with main power up, you have a very interesting substitute to main power up. It's not the best, but it's a substitute, alright? So yeah, dualies, more damage. We've seen a lot of damage weapons. I'm going to be trying not to cut anything. Anyways, Brellas. It's really hard for me to showcase. I'm going to showcase it with, I don't know, I'm going to put my dually stuff on and just, nope. I guess Splat Brella, because it doesn't shoot that far. Anyways, yeah, look at that. It increases canopy regeneration, so when your canopy's out or broken, I cannot showcase that with the undercover Brella, but if your canopy is broken, or you shot it out, you're going to be able to recover the canopy in a longer range, or in a shorter range of time, meaning that you're not going to be canopy-less, and you're going to be able to do more Brella cheeses. Alright, just look at this, I just get close to my opponent. Look at that, one hit KO. I just have to Shoot and hold. Shoot and hold. I repeat, shoot and hold. Anyways, I believe that should be it. Now should be the bad part or the hard part of putting this into an editor. And just, yeah. Anyways, I thank you for sticking this far into the video. If you've gotten this far, again, I am going to be putting links to each of the weapons and weapon categories in the description. This is going to be a pain because there's a lot of weapon categories that you can do, and honestly, that's going to take a while. And I do have to memorize them from the editor. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you.